guys, it's Whitney here, your host, Needles, Embroidery, and Clothing. And today I am going to show you how easy it is to embroider on a floppy hat using your fast frames. So I am using the size, and I'm going to give it to you in millimeters, and then I'm going to give it to you in inches. So 185 millimeters by 140 millimeters. And the inches is 7 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. So that's the size right here. I just did a video on patching instead of having to use a large sheet of your sticky back stabilizer. I have used this piece, the main one, about 4 times now. This will be the 5th time. Let's see. 4th time with the patching. So it's actually a really great way of saving some money, saving your stabilizers. I get it in the bolt, but I still try to be really frugal with it because I use it for everything. So you hear my little baby in the background. She is playing in her play yard in the living room. So she's a happy baby today. Thank goodness. So I already have my straw hat on my sticky back stabilizer. I have it secured, and really at the beginning I was pinning my hats and everything, but after I broke several of my pins because it would get caught up in the thread, I just decided that I'm not going to waste my time with pins. It took too long anyway to try to go through all these layers. So I just use these clips, and actually I'm really happy with how well it holds the hat to my fast frame. So these are the only 2 that I use. On top of the hat, because there are ridges on the hat, as you can see here, and sometimes it'll give you some gaps in your embroidery. I like to use 2 layers of this water-soluble stabilizer. I do keep this in a Ziploc bag to keep it really soft and pliable. So if you have WSS, I strongly encourage you to keep it in a Ziploc bag to keep the air from making it dry out. So I just cut a strip, and I fold it in half instead of cutting 2 strips. Fold it in half, lay it right on top, and then I just take my clips and it holds it down. How easy is that? So easy. And now I'm going to go to my embroidery machine, hook this in, go ahead and lock it in place, and embroider on it. And then when it's done, I'll come back and show you the finished product. These hats are so cute, and they are just fabulous with the monogram on them. So, okay, I'll see you in just a minute. Bye. Okay, our floppy hat is done, and let me widen this out. It really looks really nice. And I'm just going to show you basically what I do on removing the stabilizer and the backing. And as I was pulling my hat out, I noticed that another loose thread got caught underneath this C. And all I do is just slip a pair of my pointy scissors under it and kind of give it a little tug. And for the most part, it will just slide right out. In some cases, you might have to actually cut the thread, which is not a problem if you do. Just be careful not to cut the actual, what was monogrammed or the hat. Just dust that away. Okay, and this is the fun part. Okay, you just pull this off, and you can start rubbing. Okay, here's what I was using yesterday. Just a damp cloth, and just take your fingers, get them moist, and rub. Don't lick your fingers. I know that You know, it can be cumbersome to have to get, you know, a towel or have something wet sitting on your desk, but trust me, you don't want to use your fingers. Okay. So there is that. Move all that stabilizer over. And then on the back side of the hat, I just go and I trim back all these little loose knots. Don't cut the knot, otherwise your monogram will unravel, but cut close enough. And then I just kind of slide my thumb underneath and give it a little tug, and it simply peels away. But we're not done once this comes off. See, now I just go back and put another sticky back on that and patch it up, and it is great. Now we come in and pull this out. And I use a really sharp pair of tweezers, which are magically displaced right now. So I'll just use the back of a clippy. And I really do take a lot of time on these, getting them all cleaned up. I want my customers walking around feeling confident that no one is going to see a bunch of stabilizer underneath their cat. I mean, this is your name going out there. If you're making these to sell, or even if it's personal, you want it to look really professional and sharp. Okay, that is taken care of. It looks fairly clean. On the opposite side, it looks amazing.